views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Let me be your lighthouse so I can show you the way. Let me be your shining light, I'll keep you from drifting away. I'm the one that makes you try when...
Hello, this is Patty Hunter, Patty's Page. Today we are doing a book release, and it's called Walking with the Shepherd. And this is an inspirational storybook from the pasture. Now let's talk about the pasture. What is it?
So the pasture is the fields where the shepherd would go and bring his sheep. So my husband and I were missionaries to Italy, and we lived in a home that was surrounded by fields, and if you looked out you could see the Italian Alps. It was just beautiful. And then one day, yes, sometimes there was snow, and then one day one of the girls looked out the window and they said, "Hey, there's a shepherd out there with a whole bunch of sheep." And so that was the pastures where he would bring the sheep, and so they could come and eat in hours in the morning and hours in the afternoon. It was definitely, it's not just a small thing, it's a big job.
It's like bringing in the sheep? No.
No, sheaves, not sheep.
Kind of words. Anyways, do tell, this book, Walking with the Shepherd, how long did it take to put together, to write it?
Yes, so this book was actually, it was just a bunch of stories. As I would go out into the fields with the shepherd, I would just do things that seemed just kind of ordinary with the shepherd, and then as I'd be walking home sometimes, or maybe I'd be in my bed, and God would just speak to me and say, "This is how it is with me as the good shepherd and my children who are my sheep." And then it would become a story, and it would just be something, and I would just share it. I shared it like on Facebook, and people were just very touched and moved by the stories, and they said, "Angela, these need to be a book." And it was over the course of 7 years. The shepherd was 84 when I met him. He was 92 when we left Italy, 91, and then he was 92 when we came back to Italy to visit him one last time. And so over the course of 7 years, I had all these experiences with the shepherd that turned into stories. And I held on to these stories for 10 years. And here we are 10 years later, and these stories are now in a book.
And he's with the Lord himself.
I would think so. He was 92 last time I saw him 10 years ago. I tried to contact him, but the phone number I had is no longer working. So
he's gone home.
I think he's probably, yeah.
You got pictures for us to...
Sure. The book is full of pictures. Well, I can just kind of show you here. The book is, each story has a photo, and so some of the photos are photos that I took, but this was before I became a professional photographer. Some of these photos my daughter took, and so it's really great because each story has a photo. Over here today,
how many stories are there?
There are 32 stories.
32 stories, small stories?
Yeah, and so I have some of the pictures here. Some of the pictures here that are a little bit bigger, and these of course are in color, but in the book they're in black and white. And there's also, this is what's very exciting to me, there's also a study guide, and the study guide takes each story, so each story, and then there are different questions you can ask, almost like little journal entries. And there's a the photo that went with the story in the book is also in the study guide, and then they also talk about the Bible verse that's at the end of every story.
It's like putting in notes or something what you thought of the book. Or
Kind of, yeah. It has you reflect.
chapter.
It has you reflect on each story, and then tell about what that story means to you and
You
what
can
that
do a
Bible
Bible
verse.
study with
Yes,
that.
you could. It is. It is actually made so that it could. The study guide could be for personal use, or it could be used for a small group study. Okay, so I dedicate this story to Tabitha and all that she's been through, all that God has brought her through, and all that God has done in Tabitha's life through this difficult season of her life. So this one is called Close to the Shepherd's Heart. The shepherd was watching over his flock while his sheep were grazing in the pasture. Most of the sheep were scattered across the field. Some of them were within 10 feet of him. One little lamb was directly at his feet. I watched as the shepherd walked. Everywhere he went, the little lamb was always right by his side. Once in a while, the shepherd would reach down and pet it. Whenever he did, the little lamb wagged his tail with joy. I had to laugh at this sight. Most lambs are with a little group of other lambs sleeping or playing in the fields. Others stick by their mothers, but not this little guy. He took great satisfaction in simply being close to the shepherd. After observing this for a while, I walked out to my shepherd friend. I just had to ask him about that little lamb. Why does this little lamb follow you so closely wherever you go? I asked him. His mother died, he responded. I have to feed him with a bottle, so he likes to stay near me. Throughout the years, I have seen many lambs that had to be bottle fed. And when I thought about it, I remembered that some of them ended up being quite close to the shepherd. Still, this one was different. He seemed so content just to be at the shepherd's feet. I watched a little longer. The shepherd picked him up. I could only imagine what it was like for that little lamb having lost his mother. Yet now happy to be in the shepherd's arms, so close to his heart. Maybe you've experienced affliction in your life and you feel like that little lamb, so lost and wondering how you can go on. Life isn't always easy. Hardship comes, and sometimes tragedy, sorrow, and grief. As I pondered this sweet friendship between the shepherd and the lamb, I realized that this little lamb's tragic loss is what actually brought him so close to the shepherd. It makes sense though, because his nourishment now comes directly from the shepherd. He is fed from his own hand. He now has a special relationship with the shepherd, and he wants to stay close to him. In moments of difficulty or loss, we all have a choice. We can allow our trouble to destroy us and pull us away from God. We can become bitter and angry, or we can allow our good shepherd to come and help us. We can determine in our hearts to stay close to his feet and follow him everywhere he goes, just like that little lamb. He will then come and feed us from his very own hand. In moments like those, we may find the most intimate of friendships as we feel his touch, hear his tender voice, and know him like we would have never known him before. Today, if you choose to draw near to Jesus, our good shepherd, he will come and pick you up. You will be safe in his arms. You may even feel his heartbeat as he holds you close to his heart, where there is peace, comfort, healing, strength, and love. And the Bible verse that goes with this story is, he tends his flock like a shepherd. He gathers the lambs in his arms and carries them close to his heart. He gently leads those that have young. From Isaiah 40:11.
So, wow. Little kitties, lambs. How many pages? 168 pages, plus about the author, Let's get to know the author. I haven't seen you for several years. What have you been up to besides this book?
Yes. Well, I've been continuing my newborn photography, and let's see, since I think Since I had my interview with you last, the Precious Baby Project and the After the Abortion photography series, it still happens, but it happens a little less often now. Since COVID, things just like got shut down. And so I put myself out there. Anybody who still wants to have photos with their baby with special needs, I am willing to do that. Any post-abortive woman who has experienced terrible grief after her abortion, I am still here to tell her story and to help others find healing from their abortion wound.
We could be two astronauts flying into space in a rocket made just for us. We would call our rocket home, and around the starry skies together we would roam. We could be two astronauts, me and you. Anything is possible. Anything is possible whenever we think of all that we could be. We could be explorers roaming around the earth, finding places no one's ever seen, exploring every day and every night. We'd sleep under the stars. We could be explorers, me and you. Anything is possible. Anything is possible whenever we think of all that we could be. Take a look at the world and think of what we can do together.
But my life is just following the Lord, and then now this new step has been, God said that these stories would become a book. And so this is very exciting. So, and I'm available to speak if anybody needs a special speaker. What a fun theme to have, a shepherd theme or a sheep theme. And so that's very exciting too.
And with Lutherans for Life, maybe we can get you to talk for our meetings that we have, because you are one interesting kiddo. Do you have a book, the book from the last time we interviewed you here with you?
It wasn't a book, it was just my photography.
Photography.
Yeah, this is my first book that's published.
Mazel tov. Listen, are you going to do an audio book for people like me?
I would love to do an audiobook, but it is very expensive. So
Where would you go to do it? Huntington?
I honestly don't know, but like the quote that I was given is $3,500 with my voice, and I'm just like,
Is that all?
Yeah, I know. And so I'm just
Well,
like,
168 pages, girl.
I know. And so I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I really would love to see this made, because these stories lend themselves to being told, and I feel like they should be told by me. And so we'll see what
You can record
happens.
it yourself and then put it into it.
Yeah, I would just want to make sure it's done well, you know.
So what are you up to for Christmas? After Christmas, I mean,
I don't even know.
next year.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely looking forward to some book signings, and I want to do a book signing in southern Indiana where we used to live, and I'm from Maine, and I would like to do a book signing in Maine as well.
Oh, Tori. Would you do that in January or
I'm thinking maybe after the bad weather.
how about spring?
I'm thinking spring. Spring in southern Indiana, and then next summer I'll be going to Maine, so.
So I would like to thank you for being on my show, my dear.
Yes, thank you.
Shake the paw, shake the paw. So, yeah,
Thank you.
I'll keep in touch.
Okay.
Are you going to have like the pictures that you take the first time I spoke with you?
The Precious Baby
Your
Project?
babies? Do you have them in cards or greeting cards with the parents Give you permission to do that?
I have permission to use those photos, but I have not done anything with them yet.
Some of them very creative, very
Yeah.
beautiful, with their permission.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is Patty Hunter of Patty's Page. Thank you. And you read a portion of the book here.
Yes.
So you put something in here for me.
A bookmark.
Where is he? That's a good question. Look at the goat, lambs.
Yeah. The goats.
Goats.
They were being disobedient.
Oh,
Actually, all of them were. The shepherd left for a little bit, and everybody went crazy.
that's right. Where is he? Okay, I have to go. We'll see you next week. Have a great day. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
God bless you.
The babes cried out to our beloved Lord. To the one there came an awful sword, a sword so wicked, all hope was gone. Also they thought. The mothers suffered the loss of their babes. They didn't know there was that much hate. 'Cause after the deed was done, evil had surrounded them. A touch of light was given by God. Only through it should they die. A touch of light was given by God. Only through it should they die. Through the hands of evil, many lives had been taken. But Jesus is looking down from heaven, accepting the babes and loving their moms. He will never leave them. Repent, oh I say repent. Evil doors who are against Godspeed, my love, until we meet again. You're always in my heart and every dream. Don't let this time apart give in to all our fears. God will keep us close from up above. So until we meet again, Godspeed, my love. God is with us always, and for the rest of our lives.